Greetings and much blessings. I want to talk about just the ways of this world, the things that we just have to go through on a regular basis. Take a journey with me as we could just, for imagine, uh, as we can just, I said just imagine, just imagine the journey that we have to take into this world. Just trying to see how we're going to go about things. And of course, one of the things you want to do is take a nice journey, whether you want to fly, you want to drive, you want to rent. How are you going to be able to do these things and you can't pay for it, right? This is pretty much the case. Hey, I see you, Unique, up in the building. This is what I mean by worship. Okay, this is like what I'm about to say is also very unconventional. Because this is how society forces us to worship material things. Okay, so I brought everything together just a few minutes ago for a reason, and I bring this together because all these bills you have to pay, the car that you want to drive, the the planes, just stuff, the cars you want to rent, things you want to enjoy in life. Well, if it has a bill behind it, you're going to have to pay for that, right? And if you don't pay for that, they'll take it from you. So it puts people in this sense of almost worshiping that material item because they want to keep it. And the only way they can keep it is to basically, they'll have to slave for it. They'll have to slave hard, and that makes you almost basically worship that item because you're doing everything you can to keep it. And mind you, it's similar to the way I would say more so deity type of gods are regarding certain religions, not necessarily spirituality, where you have to give them what? Offerings. You have to do things. In this world, we have to give what? Financial offerings like taxes in order to keep things. So that in essence is a form of worship if you think about it, how we have to worship our things. We don't look at it that way, but a lot of what society has put here is in a sense of many different gods that we might not realize that we worship. And I think the best way around that is to basically know that you can live without the clothes on your back. And what I mean by this is you pretty much don't be too held on and pressed by things that you can live without. But most people feel like they can't live without certain things. So they'll work hard to try to pay for these things. No matter the cost, they'll slave, work hard throughout the day and throughout the night, just to keep something that ultimately in this society they can try to take from you. So that's why with a lot of people that call themselves rich, if you will, or wealthy, uh, for them, the goal is to make it to where nobody can take anything from them. But even then, one could try to take away your freedom, one could try to take away your life. So in many ways, there's all these different ways of how people try to force you into worshiping them. Even in relationships, a person feel like they can just not be around you no more. So it puts in a certain person a certain fear there to where they will do everything they can. They will offer things. They will do a lot of things for a person. Just try to keep a person around, in the sense of just not wanting that person to ever leave them. So, I say all that to say this is how this world, we're forced into worship in many things. And I think as a friend, as a lover, as a family member, it's important that we don't get into this sense and this mindset of where you give people consequences of them not doing things for you. And what I mean by this is in the sense of where you want people to do things because they want to do things for you. You want people to be there for you because they want to be there for you. It's like what Marvin Gaye said in a song one time, I want you to want me too. So that's true in relationships. Now in life, the way this society works, they make you do things not do it in a sense of where you want to do these things to where you have to do these things, or else they'll take certain things from you. So Unique said, this topic makes me think of the song Tracy Chapman, You and Your Fancy Material World. You see the links of chains, binding. Good points. Thank you. I appreciate that, Unique. I mean, think about what Friday is for a lot of bill collectors, debt collectors. Friday is their free day, not your free day. Their free day is your frown day, if you will. Because that's usually the day people like to have deadlines for bills, deadlines for everything. Friday's the deadline. What, they assume you're getting paid Friday? Not everybody's getting paid Friday. Not everybody gets paid every Friday, right? So historically, a lot of companies, a lot of renters, for a lot of them, the first of the month, or even a lot of deadlines, usually falls on a Friday. Come time Monday, they taking your stuff or they trying to kick you out wherever you're living. And so this puts in people this sense of fear, right? This sense of fear that you're going to lose your home, you're going to lose your place. And so your mind gets caught up in that instead of caught up in the Creator getting you this far, and he's going to take you further for those who believe in a higher power. So I believe it's important for us that do believe in a higher power to know that everything's going to be all right, regardless of what comes, goes, and stays. Everything is going to be all right, right? Whatever stays was meant for you. Whatever goes wasn't meant for you. And whatever comes around, well, you'll know in due time if it's meant for you or not. But don't get caught up in worshiping things and people. Appreciate things and people, because people come and go just like things come and go. But you appreciate the things that stay. I mean, you appreciate the people that stay and the things that endure, and the people that stay because they are enduring. Looks like Unique said, speaking of materials, there's an economic blackout going to boycott from buying from big businesses for one day, but can buy from small businesses. Yeah, because a lot of this idea of where it comes down to people taking things from you that you buy or loan or rent, if you will, started with big businesses, started with taxes. A lot of it started in that sense. When it came to like small businesses, let's say you were short on a few dollars, whether you bought some food, whether you bought something. Usually some people say you could work that off. You know, you remember like back in the days, like there was always this idea that you can work off like what they considered a debt. You know, like what happened to that? What happened to just being able to work something off? Or there was like a sense we could trade, you know, there was a barter system in a sense of where you might have something I like or that you don't need that I might need, just like vice versa. I had something you like and I had something that I had something you like and I had something that I no longer need, you know. So it's we all that changed when this idea of money came into what we know. And I believe that was something, if I'm not mistaken, due to like the fallen angels. I could be wrong. I believe like fallen angels taught this world about this idea of money. In I won't even say economics, because you could be economical without money. You know, economical is just really all about being smart with your resources. That doesn't have to mean necessarily money. It could be like if you just living out off grid, if you will, and you're just being resourceful, you're being economical with your wood that you chop down, if you will, for your fire to burn, to cook, to heat up, to warm up, right? Being economical, being frugal in that sense, so you don't run out of wood and things like that for your, even when it comes to reaping your harvest, that's being economical too. But yeah, we live in this world where you wonder why some people can barely get by? Because there are some people that are making it hard for them to. Some people just refuse to not worship these certain things they have to pay bills for. but that means they'll go without. So to me, that's still an essence of worship in this society, if you will, because they're like, if you're not, check this out, it ain't about paying the piper if you're not praying to the piper. Keep that in mind. Like, if you're not praying to the piper, not just paying the piper, praying to the piper. That's literally what it is. Like, you have to literally be on their side as far as taking care of things, people not caring about your situation. Okay. So Karen is not caring. Hashtag Karen is not caring about you. Okay. She is not caring about you. She is expecting you to pay certain things on time. You know, she doesn't care about your all seeing and knowing God that's always on time, even if it's not according to her time. She don't care about that. So that right there creates this sense of a false idol right there. Who are you going to serve today? You going to serve Karen, right? Or are you going to believe in a higher power? So there's a lot of things that get on the line when it comes to living in this world. Even this idea of where it was talking about give unto Caesar what is Caesar's and give unto the Lord's what's the Lord's. That's New Testament. That's not Old Testament. Yeah, Old Testament doesn't speak on such things like that, right? So it makes you wonder what would be the idea of the Old Testament mindset of whatever is Caesar. The last thing I could think of is just when it comes to scripture in the Old Testament, speaking of Pharaoh, let my people go. So I think in this sense of what we live in this society as we know of, it's about developing a new way and a new life outside of Pharaoh. Even when it comes to the financial and the economical, we look at even the governments, and I'm not going to even say names or say which governments I'm talking about. We got all these people that we owe, but yet the government owes people too, whichever government you could think of, right? I'm just saying it's just something to think about, because that also makes you wonder if governments make it to where you have to literally financially worship them, who is these governments financially worshiping to? If it's all based on this sense of chain of command, totem pole, food chain, powers that be, things like that, right? That just all lets you know that this all comes back to still something spiritual, even if one's just trying to make it a ritual. Get it? Spiritual, ritual. It still comes back to something spiritual, even though one trying to make it seem like a ritual. Even this idea of when it comes to certain taxes you pay, a lot of that is part of rituals. A lot of us don't know that though. But nevertheless, y'all stay blessed and continue to stay on the straight and narrow, and keep your eye on the sparrow, and do not worship the ways of Pharaoh. Even when it comes to certain bills you pay, just know that the Creator has his blessings for you right around the way. And regardless of what they may say and naysay, okay, you're going to have a great day. You're going to get through in one day. I believe that a lot of people that really are putting their heart out there to live right and to live more spiritual, this thing of money in the future, that won't be a credit no more. It's going to be about spiritual credit in the future. Okay. And there are actually movies that talk about stuff like this. Like if you check out the movie Dune, not that I'm being sponsored by Dune, but it speaks on this level of intellect of where you get beyond the material things, but it can still evolve into something else if you're not careful, because you'll still end up finding someone that wants to be deified, even in those type of societies. So I think the key to all this is remaining as a community. That's how we are free of worshiping things, because it's down to us as a people, not just down to a single person. Yes. Miss Unique said, it's always been about spiritual currency, but people get lost into the material world. Yes, I agree. People definitely get caught up and they get lost in the material world. The material matter, no longer about matter, it's all about material, even though material was initially consisted of matters. We got to get back to our roots. We got to get back to where we really have come from. And we got to stop making out of it things that shouldn't be made out of it.